So Football Manager recently announced that FM24 is going to remain available on all platforms until the new game comes out, whenever and whatever that might be. So with several more months of the extended FM24 cycle to run, maybe you've just re-downloaded the game for the first time in a while, or you've finally took the plunge and bought it after ages, and you want to know how to get your game set up and how to play with something that resembles the current season. You know, the season that would have been FM25. So in today's video, it's going to be a comprehensive guide to how to set your FM24 game up, how to get rid of these new licensing issues like the fact that Inter Milan are now Blu-Neri and AC Milan are Cascaivit. And we'll also do a recap on how to do the Germany national team fix and how to get the Japan national team to show up, as well as how to get the current season running so we got the right teams in the Premier League and the Championship, for example. And we'll also look at applying the real fixture and real results list so you can kind of jump in at something that's similar to the footballing world of April 2025. But we're going to start with those licensing issues, and for that, my good friends over at Passion4 FM, this is the best place to come. Links down in the description for this one. They will talk you through, here you can get the full name fix if you need to apply that as well, which will fix all the competition names. It'll sort out that Brazilian problem that we have with the 3-letter names and so on. But also, this is what we're looking for now, restoring the real names for AC Milan and Internazionale to get rid of Blu-Neri and Cascaivit. Okay, so first we're just going to quit Football Manager so that doesn't interfere with anything we've got going on here. Now we're going to need to come to the installation folder for FM, which we will find if we go into Program Files. This will be wherever you installed it. For Steam, I'm showing you, of course, if you're using Xbox Game Pass, Epic Games, if you're on an Apple Mac, there'll be a slightly different install location, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it. If we go to Steam Apps Common, and then we want to come through until we find Football Manager 2024, there it is. We go into Data, and then Database, and we keep going DB. There's a lot of stuff to click through here. 2430. That's the most recent patch, the final update that SI gave us. By the way, if you do download the Passion4 FM real name fix, you can see this is where you would install it. So after you've downloaded it and unzipped it, you would drop it in here. But we need to come now to this LNC folder and finally all. So we click through here, and I think it's pretty obvious what the things are going to be that we need to delete here. So where it says ACC Inter and AC Milan, we just need to delete these files. It's as simple as that. So there we go, that's done. Well, not quite as simple as that, as we also then have to come back to this area where we've got all these numbered folders and go to the one that says 2400, and then we need to go into LNC all, and we need to do exactly the same thing. So that's just so that it's completely gone. It doesn't matter which database you use to set your game up. Alright, so now we just fire up FM24 again to check that it's all worked. Let's just go and check for Italy first of all, where we should see, yes, we've got them back. AC Milan have returned. Inter Milan are still Blu-Neri. Okay, so going back into the installation folder, I wonder if I probably also need to delete Inter Unlice. That sounds like it might be Inter Unlicensed. So let's get rid of that one as well. We'll go into 2400 and get rid of it from there too. Maybe that was a little extra step that they forgot to mention on the Passion4 FM website. Maybe they can fix that one quickly. There you go, we did it. We've got Inter back. Well, what about restoring the German and Japanese national teams on Football Manager to make sure that they're actually available in the game? So again, we've come through to the installation folder, and again we want to go to 2430, that's the most recent one. We want to go to LNC and all, and then this one that says fake.lnc, we're just going to delete that one as well. And just like before, we're going to have to go into the other folders and do this as well. So we come into the one that says 2400 LNC all, and we're going to delete that fake.lnc. So that's gone now as well. Now what I've found I had to do for Japan is come into these older folders that say 2340 and so on, come to LNC all, and then I'm going to delete here fake, but also I'm going to delete N-League. So if I delete those two, and then I rinse and repeat that, so doing it in 2330 as well, so coming through to the same place, fake and N-League. I delete all of those. Some people say that you don't have to do this, but I found personally that I still was having trouble with the Japanese national team. So I just come back here and I've deleted all of the ones that say fake.lnc and nleague.lnc, Now we should be sorted. And while we're here, if you haven't got the Brazilian fix yet and you want to sort that out, that's something we can do here as well. So 2430, we want to go into that folder, but this time we want to go into the one that says DBC. So we're just going to open that up and then we're going to go to permanent. Now there's a couple of things we need to delete here, namely the ones that say Brazil kits and forbidden names. They need to go. And then we've got this folder up here that says language. So we need to come into here and delete this one that says licensing 2. And then we've got to go back and we've got to do the same in all of these folders. So again, I've come into the 2400 Brazil kits, forbidden names, both of those go, language, licensing 2 goes, and then of course you've got to do it for these other folders here. I don't think you need me to show you to do every single one, right? Or maybe you do, because you find when you go into these ones and go into DBC, it's only that licensing 2 that you have to delete. The other files have already gone. Now, as I said before, if you don't have the real name fix already, you can download that here from the Passion for FM website. Link is in the description. And once you've downloaded it and unzipped it, you just have to copy the folder you get into this folder. So you're coming to the installation folder again, you're finding data, database DB 2400 and 2430, and you're just going to paste that folder into both of them, and then you'll have the real competition names. So I just very quickly set a game up here just so we can see all of those fixes in action. And here we see the Germany national team managed by Nagelsmann and with the full squad available. Likewise for Japan, it's now picking all of the players, not only the players based abroad, but also the players playing domestically. And here we see with that Passion for FM real name fix, we've got all the correct names for the Spanish teams. Everything's golden in Brazil as well. Alright, so we've sorted out the licensing issues, we've got the real names all done. But if we come to the Premier League, we still have a problem. And no, it's not the fact that unrealistically Tottenham are first. This is the 23-24 season, isn't it? We've got Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton up here. We've got Leicester, Southampton and Ipswich down in the Championship. So now we're going to look at not only getting this season's updated competitions, but also getting the real world results and fixtures. Now, there are many options for installing a real world update. We've got here Sort It Out SI have quite a popular one. FM Inside have one as well, which I've done a video on installing before. And FM Scout have an FM24 to FM25 DLC. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to try the FM Scout one. I haven't used it before, and it also ties in nicely with the Real Fixtures, Real Results add-on that we're going to use as well. So all you need to do is come to their site and download it. Now, once downloaded, you're going to have this folder, FM24 to FM25 DLC. So I'm just going to extract that. I'm just going to extract it right here in the downloads folder, and when it opens up, you see there's a little link there to tell you how to use it. But you see here we've got all these competition changes, promotions and competitions. We've got some transfers in there as well. We've got CAPA changes. Now, you don't have to install all of these. There's also Wonderkids to add in some of those new Wonderkids. You could install this. I'm going to show you a different one a little bit later that I personally prefer. And we got competition changes for Spain and Turkey and so on. All right, so I've selected all the ones I want to use. You'll notice it's a limited number of countries because of course these are community created. We can't expect someone to be out there updating the entire database across all of Football Manager. But what we want to do with these is we're just going to take them over to Documents, find our Sports Interactive folder, Football Manager 2024 editor data. We're going to drop them in here. Don't worry about how many things I've got in here. It's because, of course, I create my international competitions and so on. So all of those are in. But wait, let's not start a new game just yet. We need to go back to the FM Scout website and download these files here. It says FM24, 2425 real fixture and results. Now you can see this has most recently been updated 27th of March, which is just a few days ago as I'm recording this. So basically after every round of fixtures of league play, it gets updated. So we're just going to click download now. And now we're back to our downloads folder. We see it here. So same kind of thing as before. We just want to extract all of these. So I'm just going to do that in the downloads folder first of all. It opens up automatically. And this is what we've got. Now, they have been kind here, although this is from FM Scout. They have got separate files here. So if you've used the Sort It Out SI update, you've got files for that. But obviously I've used the FM Scout one, so we are going to bring those over. Now you'll notice all of these have been named with -RR for real results, obviously, but then they should pop up right at the top of your folder when you're setting your game up. But I'll show you that in a second. So we just come over to editor data and we're going to drop those ones in. But then we're going to come back to that real fixtures and results folder, because if we click through, we'll see there's a folder here called start date. So this is what's going to enable us to start the game mid-season, essentially, or towards the end of the season as we are now. So I'm going to copy over just the April 2024 one, the most recent one. So I'm just going to cut that. We go back to the editor data folder and we're just going to drop that in there. Now we go and start our new game. So obviously we click on start new game career. Now you will have this screen pop up if you're using editor data for the first time. It's just because it sets it up as advanced settings. Now everything you have copied in will automatically be selected. So you see here that April 2024, it says Seychelles. Don't worry about that, I'll get into that in a moment. But then we've got these different leagues, Austria, Belgium, Croatia. We've got all the real results for those. So that's all good. Now where we need to be careful is we don't want to have a clash with those other files we downloaded. So we just have to scroll down a little bit. So obviously any league files here, I just want to deselect these. I only want to use the ones that I've just downloaded with real results. So I'm going to deselect all of those. I can leave on the transfers though, promotion, relegation, places in general. I can leave all of that on because obviously we want those real transfers to be in there for this real world start date. And right down at the bottom we've got all contracts 1 year shorter, because of course anyone with a 5-year deal in at the start of the 23-24 season is going to be a 4-year deal by this point. So we just hit confirm for that, and then we choose our game mode. Original. Choose original. Real world obviously has those kind of arranged transfers in place, but they're all from the start of the 23-24 season. So it'll be things like Harry Kane will be at Spurs about to go to Bayern Munich. That's going to mess things up. So let's just stick with original. This bit might take longer than usual because it's unpacking all of those changes. Okay, so here are all the leagues that have the real results available, but there's one more thing we need to do. Remember we said about Seychelles being in there? That's because Seychelles has been used to give us the start date of April. So we're just going to select Seychelles. And then here, with the game start date, we come down to Seychelles, and here you see it says start of training camp, 1st of April 2024. Now it says 2024, that's going to have real results kind of up to the start of April in the current 24-25 season. You can't change the date in Football Manager, so that's still going to be a year behind. Nothing to be done about that, unfortunately. But that's given us a start date. So then we're going to start our game. Again, lots of changes for the game to unpack, so it might take a while. I'm just going to start unemployed to get straight into it. So we see now the start date is the 1st of April 2024. No April Fools, I hope. I'm recording this on the 2nd of April. Here I've got the real world Premier League table side by side with the in-game one. So you can see it's almost the same, just here the most recent Arsenal result hasn't been put in. And you see Newcastle have already got Conference League qualification, which of course they secured recently with their League Cup win. But actually that's just a random coincidence, because you can't actually get real cup results in here, only league results. So although Newcastle here did win, in-game they did it by beating Chelsea on penalties. And look at that, defeating Cambridge in the semis. But yeah, if we look at the FA Cup, you can see obviously not real life results there. And same is true for the Champions League. But league results, it's all there. So here we see Italy, the German Bundesliga and so on. They've all got those real results up to the most recent point. So we've got the licensing and name fix for FM24. We've got the current season data loaded, so we're ready to roll. A couple more things before you get started. Now you might want to update your graphics packs. So I use Sort It Out SI for this, and here's the reason why. If we come over to the various graphics packs, so we've got here the trophies pack, the logo pack. You can see they release regular update files, so you can just download those and add them to the ones you've already got. If you haven't got these already or you've deleted them, you can just download the initial file and then download the updates. And here's the face pack one. You see I haven't downloaded the most recent update file, which I held back for the purposes of this video. So we just click through, it gives us a couple of links. I'm not going to show these slightly sketchy download sites, but you will know what to do here. Okay, so now that we've been bombarded by a million ads, notification requests and promises of speedy gold grade downloads, we've finally got our update file. So I'm just going to extract this with a WinRAR. So what I generally do is I just extract this to the downloads folder. Didn't take too long, but of course, if you are downloading the full pack, it's going to take much, much longer. But these two folders here, we just need to copy those. This is for player face packs, of course, although the same thing will apply for the logos and any other graphics updates. And we need to go, as usual, Documents, Sports Interactive, Football Manager 2024. Graphics, this is going to be the same whether you're on Game Pass or Epic. And then we just need to go into the players folder, and I'm just going to paste these in. It's going to, in a moment, ask me what it wants me to do about duplicate files. So, of course, you choose replace those already in the destination, like so. And then it will just finish copying, pasting over. And there you go, we're done. Like I said, any updates you got here for logos, stadium pictures, trophies, you can just drop all of those in here too, kits as well. And then in game, you just come to preferences, you can clear the cache, and then we can click reload skin. This might take a minute or two. There you go, all updated. Here we've got Marcus Rashford at Aston Villa. Okay, so one more step to get our FM24 set up perfectly for a 24-25 save. Now, earlier in my guides, I didn't use the Wonderkids update from FM Scout. You could, of course, use that. It's because I like the one from Passion for FM. I know S-Ben puts a lot of time and effort into creating this, and, you know, he does an absolutely fantastic job. You can see here, there's so much detail here and what he's put in. You can browse through this. Links in the description, of course. He keeps this regularly updated too. There's two ways to do it. If you're a Steam user, you can just click on that link and you subscribe, and it automatically puts it into your editor data folder. Of course, you will have to start a new game to make this work. I'm going to show you the download manual install version. So it brings us to MediaFire. We've been here a lot today. So over to our downloads folder. No zip file this time. It's just a single file, NextGen, Wonderkids database by Passion for FM. So we just want to take that and put it into our editor data folder. Okay, so one more time here, setting up a new game. We just need to make sure that that's selected. So I'm keeping all the stuff, the real results, the April 2024, and then we just need to click down and find that file. So here we go, FM25 NextGen database by Passion for FM. So that's all selected. Then of course starting in original mode so we don't cause any clashes. So got my leagues loaded, got my start date set to Seychelles. And now that this is all set up with the licensing fixes, with the graphics updated, with the real results, with these Wonderkids in the game, I'm going to be starting a new save. And I'm going to be doing it with this challenge kit sent to me by the Footballing Brain. So whatever team is in here, I'm going to be managing them in this database. So like and subscribe if you like the sound of that. So here's just a few examples of those Wonderkids in the game. So we've got Tony Fernandez here at Barcelona, Emre Unavar at Ajax. We've got Kamadra at AC Milan, not Cascaivit. Kyron Thompson at Arsenal. There are many, many more. I really do urge you to go over to Passion for FM, check out the page. There's a full comprehensive list there of all the many, many talents that S-Ben's added into the game. You can also download a short list from here so you can find them more easily. I don't think there's a face pack. Would be great if there was one. Whew, but there you go. That's a fully comprehensive guide to how to set your FM24 game up to have something as close as possible. It's not perfect, of course, but as close as possible to what FM25 could have been, and to get that start date so you can just finish off this season and then crack on with the new season. I do hope you've enjoyed it and you found it useful. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you for that new series soon.